Hey everybody, let me talk in this video about content provider. Android provide feature named content provider. So why this feature? If you see in your phone, you have Android provide specific sandbox. This sandbox have the app data like database and shared reference and more that we show when we access through the terminal. So any other application, if I want some data to be shared between the application, for example, you have the contact application in your phone. This application, you add the contact list in your phone. So what about other application want to read them? Or WhatsApp chat want to access to contact to read them. For examples, I would give you a simple example how contact work. Contact is a simple application. It stores all the users' contact information in content provider class. This content provider class have access to the database from SQLite, like for delete, update, select, other stuff. All these methods for SQL, like that we did it before, it stored in the class named content provider inside the contact application. So, and because it is content provider, that is mean any other application like Viber, WhatsApp could access to this content provider. So whenever you create a class in your application and you name it or you make it inherited from content provider, that's mean other application could access to that class. So when you add in that side that class, add or update or delete to your database, that's mean other application could access to that place and read, delete, update from your database. So in a very easy way, when you add a new contact, you add in the content provider to the database, so other application like Viber could access to this content provider and read from it. So let me show you how it's work. To get started, I will open very empty active. It doesn't have anything. I just will add list view to display list of items that I have it. So I just contact. So first of all, I have to use permission for access to contact. So read contact, I'm sure. So yes, I'm reading contact from the phone. Now, you know this dangerous permission, so you need to do something for it. So before that, let me just reading my contact. So I need here a very simple method for read contact. So I say, okay, I have void for read contact. But this read contact, I want to read something from the user, like username, the name of user and phone number. So let me just create a simple class for contact item. I say, okay, I would have contact, have simple public constructor, and have two properties for string name, and have other properties for string what I name it, string phone number. Here you go. So I have two properties. Then I would say, okay, this dot name, you know how this work, equal name, and this dot phone number equal phone number. I would say, okay, this dot phone number equal phone number. That's just simple class. Now I want to create list from this class. So let me go here and create list. So okay, I will say array list, what I name it, array contact, list of my contact equal a new instance from this class. I will just create a new instance. Now I could add item to this class. So now to add item, I want to access to this data for this application. So first of all, I would define some properties. I would say, okay, I need to read. You remember when we read, you get that as cursor. So I would say I have cursor. Let me just decrease this part. I make it in this way. So I'm cursor, I'm reading. So from where I name it, get resolve in this way. Get content, this content resolver. We say query for it something. Okay, I'm doing a query on another app. Which the URL? What app I want to get data from? If I say, okay, contact. So I say contacts in this way. Contact. And case type dot phone. I want to read from curate URL. What do I want to read from? This one for reading from contact. So I giving the URL for shared data for contact. Then I just give some other parameter. I will not use them. I'll say, okay, null to null, and the third parameter also will be null, and fourth parameter will be null. So okay, making sure all the parameter. You know this is for query. So when you execute the query, if you see there is number of parameter. I'm sure you know them. So I'm sure you know this one. If you see here, you say okay. So for example, if you order by name, you say okay, or order by name, or say disk name. As same to do projection selection, I just want to get all the data that I have it. Here you go, just write it down. I will read all the whole cursor has move next, that's have next item. I want to read it. So how I would read it? I first let me just get the name. So I say okay, string for name. How I would get the name from where I would say you remember when I say okay cursor this way dot get column index, then what the index is contact type, then name. I'm just looking for phone. I'm just make sure capital dot the other display name. So I'm just reading the display name. So that's mean here you go. I would take the display contact list, but here I would take only the phone number. So this I think this display phone number. I would say okay, phone number. Just here you go. That's mean remember here in my contact list. That's easy. Say contact list dot add a new instance from contact item. What I need to send, I will send both item name and also I need phone number. Here you go. So now it's all moving, but by the end I will have all the contact name and the contact number will be added here. That's great. Now everything is fine. User phone display name. So I say okay, let me take this one just for to show you. I have here, I'm looking for display name, where the display name will be like, for example, single quotation, you're looking for something, some data, for example, H, then here you go. Here, now I'm looking for some person, has anyone have H? Make sure I add this part for selection. Where the selection, if you just let me just show you, I was going here, you have this part for selection, so I could replace it by this now. But now we need to bring all the name. As I told you, you could also, like for example, you want to make you want to get data by asynchronous name. You say okay, I need to bring all the name and I want to order them by async name. Say in this way you open it, say okay, let me bring all names, I have them in this way. Then I would say I will add them in async way. Async. That's mean by this line you will bring them all asynchronous, like I mean ordered by name. You could just change them to upper. You say okay, I will bring them as uppercase. Okay, so that's here you go. Then as uppercase and synchronous. This will be great. This will be bringing all the data as uppercase. I don't need to do this part. I just want to show you how you could communicate with content provider same way you could communicate with your own data. Now I have read contact. I add them here. Now I need permission to access read contact. If you remember, here you go to permission. We have something because we're dealing with data for other apps. So here you go. I have this part for permission from 9 to this line. Just make it copied, paste it. Come here, please, and paste your data. First of all, when the application run, I want to check the permission if there is any permission. So here you go. I want to check if the permission is greater than 23. I want to check for read contact. So if permission contact, then also this if it's not granted, I will come here and I will look for read contact. So if not, there you go. I could if he already like granted before, I just could load the contact from here. Otherwise I will be in this point, then I will load contact here. Don't forget to add this mail. Okay, denial contact access. Okay, and make sure this to us is enabled. Now I added two parts, everything is good. Oh great. So now okay, let me move to next step. Next step is how we want to display the data in list view. So if I click right here, I'll say okay, I need to create simple layout for list. Okay, I name it list item underscore item in this way, and I could add it. So you could just whatever you want to do. Let me add two books, one for name, another one for password, or for this one for name, this for number. So let me change. Okay, text view name. Make sure text view name this way, and this one text view for what? Text view for number. Okay, you could change font size here for font if you want to say okay, I want this one to be 20. That's good. So yes, how is it? This is I have the ticket now. I want to load everything from here. I don't want to bother myself. I have already access into the adapter here. So here you go. I have list adapter. So here is it. I will take only this part for adapter. So yes, here is it, my adapter. And I will go back. I no longer read this permissions. I would add the adapter here, but I need some change in the adapter. If you see, my data is contactless now, so base adapter will be adapter. So okay, but the data that I have it is this one, contactless. So I'm checking for contactless. If everything is good, I want to check for view group. Okay, and I will say layout inflator and inflate. But the layout I'm checking for is list item. If you see, this is the list item. And also I just getting item as contact. Then I have to exit to text view for what? For text view name. I want change text view name. Yes, this is view name. Also for password, I'm doing something. Oh, not password. For text view for number. Okay, number. Here you go. Then I say okay, s dot number. That's great. Phone number. I don't have any problem. I could load my data now. Now I want to display this data in list view. If you remember, when you want to access to list view, you have to do this part. I think all the other part I did it, but this part will be missing for list viewing and list view adapter. So yes, here you go. I just will go back. I'll say okay, from where I'm loading the names. Whenever I load the name, here you go. After I read the contact, I have them here on the list. So I now want to load the name here. I'll say okay, I have adapter. So adapter will loading this one for list item. I'm loading, but it should be my custom adapter. And the list view, what I name it, I hear list view news, so I have to go back here and change it to list view news. Form code, yes. Then you don't have to add this line. You don't have to notify. But yes, okay. Notify the database for the change, and that's great. You are just adding setting adapter. You no longer need this part, as I told you. So yes, now just for remember you, we have permission to access to the contact. So when application will be started, he will check for permission. If it's not granted, please show message. If not, read contact. So on read contact, you will read all contact list, then display in list view. So let me just rerun it and check what's going on. Here we go. If you see, this application need to access to contact. Okay, allow. You'll see Becky and phone number, emulator and phone number. If I go back to my contact, I have to see these two phone numbers. Here you go. Now it's great. So now you understand how you could work with content provider. All the or most have an application provider on your phone. You could do content provider. Contact, you do content provider. Reading SMS, could do content provider. Here we're done, and thank you for watching.